Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sundays at Summit Health. I hope your spring is starting off on a good note and that you didn't get fooled too badly on Friday at all. Thank you for joining in with us today. We're going to be addressing a topic that I think a lot of people experience a lot of trouble with, myself included, and that is how to make time for nutrition and exercise. I understand everybody is very busy. We rarely come across clients who have, the perfect schedule and no other responsibilities, and almost everyone struggles with being able to make time for all of the healthy habits that we want to have, but that we're having difficulty finding time for. So, today I've got 7 strategies that you can try out. You can do all of them, you can do one of them, and you can do them in any order, which is really nice. So, listen up, take these 7 strategies, figure out which ones will work for you, and work with your coach to see how that's going to fit into your life and how you can make more time for the things that are really important to you. So, when it comes to making healthy choices like your fitness and your nutrition, a lot of people actually do know what to do to some extent. Most of us know that we need to eat the right amount of food for our bodies and that we need to move more to stay active and to make time for those things. Most of us know that. So, for a lot of us, it comes down to the busyness and making time for all of those things. I understand that in the midst of maintaining your house and taking kids where they need to go and work, it's not always easy to find time to do yoga for an hour or to chop your veggies or to get 8 hours of sleep at the very least. The busyness is what makes it so difficult to be able to go with those strategies that you know are going to work. So, um, first thing that I have as a suggestion is to sit down and do what we call the 5 whys activity. So, if you want to get in shape, okay, why do you want to get in shape? Well, I want to look better. Why do you want to look better? I want to feel more confident. Why do you want to feel more confident? You guys see where I'm going with this, and usually the 5 whys activity helps us to get a better idea of what it is that we actually want. For some of us, it is as simple as I want to look good at the beach, and that's it. The health aspect of it doesn't matter as much to me. Like, I just want to look good. That's fine. Let's figure out why it's important to you to look good and what is that going to accomplish for you. And that gives us a really good starting point. For other people, looking good or being healthy are an indicator of what's going on the inside. I'm struggling with my confidence or I don't feel in control of my life. And this is a way that I can feel like I'm in control. Whatever it might be, anywhere on the spectrum, we as your coaches and you as an individual should want to know what is the real reason behind what I'm doing. And once we have that reason and kind of our big goal, it's a lot easier to make decisions that reflect that big goal. Next, we want to identify our top priorities. And I'm going to use an illustration that is not original to me, but that I've come across a couple times, and I think it's really helpful to think about. So, when it comes to identifying priorities in our life, we want to look at everything like it's a rock, a pebble, or sand. Rocks are what give our lives purpose and make us feel most fulfilled. So, examples for me, my husband, my health, my work, getting enough sleep, those are rocks for me. Those are things that I feel like I have to be doing, or my life is not moving in the direction I want it to go. To have time with my husband and to be able to communicate well with him, that's important to me. Making time for my health and having the proper foods in my home and the improper foods not in my home, those things are very, very important. Pebbles then are extra fun things. They're satisfying, but they're not completely necessary. So they're still moving us toward our goal, but they're not the goal in themselves. So, an example, getting home to visit my family in Minnesota. That brings a lot of life to me. That's something that's very important to me. But if it doesn't happen, um, if I go longer than I would like to without it happening, it's not going to be a detriment. Having flexibility and passion in my work. Those are things that I really, really like to have and that they're a part of my value system. But it's okay for me to go certain periods of time where that's not the case. So, again, these are things that are fun, things that are satisfying, but they're not completely necessary. Um, the way that they can look maybe in the health and fitness world too is getting to do some extra work at the gym or being able to cook a new recipe instead of your normal things. Again, they're fun, they move us towards our goal, but if we don't always get to do them, it's okay. Excuse me. Whew, I'm sorry. And then sand looks like things that are only bonuses. So they don't necessarily move us towards our goals. And they don't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but it's kind of the extra stuff. This is things like Netflix or Instagram or happy hour, that we enjoy and they're fun for us, but they're not really moving us toward our long-term goal necessarily. So everyone's rocks, pebbles, and sand are going to look different, and that is one thing for us to be aware of. I know the last time we chatted, we talked about getting our family members on board or at least compliant with what we're doing or letting us comply with what we're trying to accomplish. Remember that their rocks, their pebbles, and their sand are going to look different from yours. So, even though they all look different, if you fill your jar with too much sand at first, there won't be any room for your rocks and your pebbles. So I want you to visualize a jar in front of you with sand and pebbles and rocks sitting outside the jar. If you put as much sand in the jar as you want and then you add in your pebbles, you might not even have room for one rock, let alone the 3 to 5 rocks that are in your life. If your jar is too full with the little extra stuff, the bonus stuff, even good things like pebbles, it's really hard to see how you can find time for your rocks. If we start on the other side where we say the rocks go in first, the things that are most important to me and that move me towards my goal, those need to come first. And if you put all 5 rocks in your jar, there's still plenty of space for the smaller stuff. At that point, we add in our pebbles and say, okay, well, how can we make these things more fun, more enjoyable? How can we take the little things that move us towards our goal more frequent? And then, with our extra space that we have left, it's okay to put in some sand. It's okay to take 45 minutes at the end of the night and watch your favorite Netflix show. It's okay to spend 10 minutes scrolling Instagram as long as the rocks are prioritized and you're getting the pebbles in that you feel you need to have balance in life. Um, a really good way to kind of have your eyes opened to how you actually spend your time versus how you think you spend your time is to do a 15-minute increment exercise. And I would recommend not doing this every day. Don't do this for a whole week, but a couple of days it can be really eye-opening, especially if you are the type of person who says, I would love to do that, but I don't have time. This will show us whether or not you do have time. So when you wake up, set a recurring alarm for every 15 minutes. And every time that alarm goes off during the day, write down what you're doing. I was on a work call. I was driving my kid to school. I was scrolling Instagram. I was making dinner. Whatever it is. And that will give you a really, really good idea of, this is where I think I spend my time. And this is where I actually spend my time. If a 15-minute timer goes off, and, you know, at 6 different points during the day I was looking at Instagram, is it fair to say that I take an hour and a half of my day dedicated to Instagram and I'm still saying that I don't have time to go to the gym? So that's just one way to kind of have your eyes open to it. And then after that, you can make a pie chart and decide, like, okay, how much of my day is spent on sand, how much is spent on pebbles, and how much is spent on my rocks. And you might be able to see where it appears like you don't have time for your rocks, your nutrition, your exercise, your family, things like that. But your schedule is filled with sand. It's filled with the Netflix. It's filled with scrolling Instagram when it could be filled otherwise. So when you become aware of these discrepancies, that's when we want to start adding in some healthy behaviors. But again, take it easy and do it in 15-minute increments. This can mean 15 minutes less of TV and 15 minutes more of meal prep, or even just going to the gym for 15 minutes. If that's all you have, do that rather than saying, well, that's not going to be worth it, so I might as well just hang out here for a little bit longer and scroll Instagram. If you have that 15 minutes, use it towards your rocks. Even going outside and taking a 15-minute walk is going to be more beneficial for you than spending that time in your sand. Another strategy to take that's similar is to just improve your systems. And this means doing a little bit of extra work on the front end to make your life easier. So if you have a morning routine and things that you do every day, add the good stuff to what you're already doing. If you're somebody who makes your coffee every day, when you make your coffee, grab a vegetable and chop it up so that you have a healthy snack when you come home from the gym or from work. Or join a gym that's closer to your house or to work. And instead of, saying, well, it's a 20-minute drive to the gym, I don't think I have time for that. It's okay to improve your systems and do something that's a little bit closer to your home or closer to where you work. And then even in social events too, if you and your friend like to go out for drinks, maybe once in a while see if they'd be willing to go for a walk instead of going to drinks. Just try and make things a little bit easier for you ahead of time, so when the temptation of pulling your phone out and scrolling shows up, you have an easier time saying no to that because you've already done the work ahead of time. Another one is to schedule in the meal prep and the working out. If you wait until you feel like doing it, you're never going to end up doing it. No one, well, I won't say no one. A lot of people don't enjoy meal prepping. A lot of people don't enjoy that initial drive to the gym, feeling a little nervous about the workout. If you plan those things into your day and you stick to that the same way you would a work meeting or your kids' volleyball practice, you're more likely to do it. Put it in your calendar, have that time set aside so you and your family know this is what we're doing at this time and this is why. Another way around that too is even saying something along the lines of, I want to watch TV or I want to be doing this other thing that is sand, then prep your veggies while you're watching your TV, or listen to that podcast you love, that trashy podcast you love on your way to the gym and things like that. So attach the good habit to the habit that you already have. Lastly, at the end of the week, review your time and see what worked and what's worth improving. So anything that's going really well, keep doing that. Maybe your morning routine and having that veggie prepped is really good, or breakfast is something that you're crushing. If something's not working, figure out the reason why. What got in the way? And combine those activities with health and fitness things. So if it's sand that got in the way, like watching TV, watch TV while you're on the treadmill or while you're meal prepping. And if it's a rock, take work calls outside on a walk or something like that. So let's say work is something that's very important to you. You can't just not do it. See if you can have those things put together with your healthy habits. Taking a work call while you're on a walk, or having your family help you with meal prep. If family time's important, but so is meal prep, see if you can bring those two things together. And it's also okay to set smaller goals and build them up as you go. We would rather see you experience success, even if it's challenging, rather than trying to change everything all at once and being, left wondering why nothing seems to be changing. Set small goals and build them up as you go. I hope some of these strategies were helpful for you guys. I would love to discuss more. If anyone has any questions, feel free to comment and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if you have any strategies that work really well for you when it comes to managing time with working out and getting your meal prep or your food prep done, I'm sure everyone would love to hear. So thank you so much for joining in and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.